Welcome to Overtime on Inferno, your weekly roundup of all the biggest stories in CSGO, quicker than North American teams can disappoint their fans. Quick reminder to rate and review us at the end of the episode. It really helps us. I'm Logan. This is Aizyesque, who's throwing his mic across the room. Let's get into it.
Unlucky. Yeah, there was like a little bit of tangling in the wires. I was like, I'll just like fix this subtly, and then I actually like dragged it off the end of my table. It's fine.
This is what happened. This is welcome to Monday morning recording. So, as usual, we are recording not on Wednesday because life. We're recording Monday morning at noon Eastern. So anything that happens between now and podcast publishing on Thursday morning, 6 a.m. Eastern, don't blame us.
Yeah, if something massive happens, we might like make an addendum.
Yeah.
But anything else that's happened, like, there'll just be a bumper episode next week if there's like something small. Like I don't know what else. I don't know what could happen that would suggest that would need an addendum.
You know what could happen? Evil Geniuses gets kicked out of ESL Pro League, which is a real real possibility. Let's start talking about Group D, which finished up over the weekend.
EG won one map, and it was against the other NA team in their group.
Yep.
They won 0 maps against a team on this side of the Atlantic.
Yep.
That's pretty good. This team's here to save NACS, by the way.
You know, they gave Stewie the keys, and he's just running away with the car. He's just...
I probably shouldn't say that. Yeah, they gave Stewie the keys, and he can't drive.
No,
I mean, it's not even his fault.
No,
as you know, you've given him the keys to the bus, but the bus is just full of feral creatures. They're just attacking him. He's not allowed to drive the bus. So I'm not saying EG players are feral creatures. I'm just saying the analogy is he's driving a bus that is full of feral creatures that won't allow him to drive the bus where he wants to go. And where he wants to go is mediocrity, 4th place in the group, not 6th.
So, I just like to... So, North America generally, right, we have a couple of like top tier teams, right? And then we have like our tier 2, like sometimes make it across the Atlantic teams, right? And right now that's Party Astronauts who like, yay, they got to Pro League. Yay, they played. Just for knowledge, right? We generally should hope that Evil Genius is a step above Party Astronauts. Round differential wise, would you like to guess what the 2-round differentials across their groups were?
I know because I looked this up. EG won 10 rounds more than Party Astronauts.
They won 4 rounds more.
They won 4 rounds more?
They won 4 rounds more.
I thought it was 10. I thought it was like 96 to 106.
No, the round differential for Party Astronauts is -68 and it's -64 for Evil Geniuses.
Yeah, but I think EG lost more and won more.
Oh, okay.
I think it's like, I think there's a 10-round win difference, which is still embarrassing given the amount of money EG spent on their roster. And Party Astronauts are literally
orgless.
No org, no salary. Like they had to fucking start a GoFundMe to get here.
The both was literally donated to get them to Europe.
Yes. I pay Party Astronauts his salary. And I tell you what, and I would happily pay them more than I would for EG, because this team is a fucking embarrassment. Like, these some of these players have won majors. Some of these players are fucking like Breezy was a top 10 player in the world in the last couple of years. What the fuck has happened to Breezy? What the fuck has happened to him? He's like, every single player on Evil Geniuses posted under a 1.0 rating at this event.
Yeah.
That's fucking awful. That's like, there's no, you can't defend this team. Like, there's nothing. Nobody seems to fucking care. And I don't mean in the team. I mean, Americans don't care about Evil Geniuses.
Nope.
like people in Europe don't want to watch them play. Nope. Nobody wants to watch them play. Even when they win rounds, they barely look like they give a shit about it either.
And you know,
this team is entirely soulless.
You know what the worst thing about this is that I really want to watch EG. I love EG as an org. I've been watching their league team for a couple of years now. I watched them when they won COD Champs. When the team that won COD Champs a couple of years, like 10 years ago, that was Complexity, moved to Evil Geniuses. I followed that team. I've been an EG fan longer than I've been a Liquid fan. I can't watch this team because it's so bad.
It's miserable. It's so miserable. Like, there's just not like. I think the real kicker was there was. Okay, it didn't end up working this way, but if Complexity had 2-1 Astralis, they needed EG to beat AGO.
Yep.
So Complexity to go through. So EG could almost like undo some of that. Like some of that, like, you know, you could be a bit of a hero to another NA team. You like, and you get 2-0'd by a go. Like, you're already out and you're still letting down Americans. Like, it's so embarrassing. They got 40 bombed in regulation by a guy, like by an AGO player. Like, Fiku is a good player, but he should not be 40 bombing you in fucking regulation.
3 major winners.
It's such a fucking mess. Like, I don't even know who I'm supposed to blame.
Well, let's start with Cirque. We've been blaming Cirque for years now, so I feel like that's a good.
I don't like Cirque. I've never thought he was a particularly good player. He's all right. He's pretty overrated, but he's
not
also
even.
He's also better than this.
Yeah, he's better than this. Breezy is literally stealing a check right now.
Yeah, like, Breezy's better than this. What the fuck has happened to him? And so, like, these two were good players not that long ago.
Yeah, Evil Geniuses during the pandemic in December of 2020, I believe, they were the #1 ranked team in the world.
Yeah.
Now, regardless of what you think about HLTV's pandemic rankings of teams when we couldn't play LANs, they were still good enough to be in the top 5.
They were still at a point where they were the best American team.
Yeah.
They're not even they're not even top 2.
We used to look forward to Evil Geniuses versus Team Liquid in America during the pandemic, when they fought at the end of every single goddamn tournament, and we had great best of 3s, great best of 5s, and now I feel like if you put Liquid up against EG, it would be a 2-0 stomp.
Liquid would smoke them, yeah. Liquid look genuinely decent. EG are a fucking mess. Like,
I could play better than EG right now.
They won 1 map in the fucking group. There's nothing redeeming about it. There's nothing.
We could get all the North American Counter-Strike media together to make a team and still be better than Evil Geniuses right now.
Well, I don't know about that. I haven't seen you play, but...
wait, I'm sorry. We have seen Ryan play. Never mind.
Yeah.
We might be a little bit...
Maybe that's not ideal. I mean, look, you could put Maui Snake on this team, and I don't think it gets worse.
Nope.
And he's an analyst.
I was going to say, it has nothing to do with Maui's level of play.
Yeah. Well, it does. And it's that... Maui's like was he an advanced player or and he doesn't look like there's nothing redeeming about this EG team at the moment. They're getting outplayed, they're getting outthought, and they're getting outfought. They don't win duels, they don't win rounds, they don't win fucking games, they don't win anything. And they're embarrassing.
And the worst part about this, and I really this is like what it comes to after this team has been so bad, is this team has finished last in their group in Pro League the last 2 or 3 seasons.
Yep.
2 or 3 seasons. It's one of the 2, which actually activates a voting procedure in the Louvre agreement for Pro League that other teams can vote Evil Geniuses out.
Yeah. And look, I don't think they will, but I'm pretty sure EG are bricking it.
The fact that you've gotten to this position is a bad thing.
Yeah, I think I think if I was another team, I'd vote them out. Like, seriously, because... Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously you don't know about the financial side of it. Maybe, like, EG are a very rich org, and they are an American org. Like, you've got to get some NA teams in there for
actually,
viewership and stuff.
Partially a British org now. Owned by Wolves.
They have a partnership with Wolves.
It's partnership. Yeah. There's some sort of money there.
Yeah, I mean... Wolves are barely English anyway. They're essentially Portuguese at this point. But that's a completely different topic. I don't know why they thought this team was going to be good. I mean, we said from jump, like, we don't think this team
is good.
We think this team is significantly worse in complexity. It might be the fourth best team in NA.
I think we actually said it was the fourth best team. We said I think it was Liquid, Complexity, Party Astronauts, Evil Geniuses.
Yeah, and we sort of laughed and went, hey, "Wait, yeah, it's actually not that far off true."
I'm not convinced right now that if Party Astronauts played against EG in a best of 3, that Party Astronauts wouldn't win.
Look, Party Astronauts at least have you watch them play, right? And they're not great, but there's some semblance of a concept, of an idea, of there's some concept of an identity. Like Party Astronauts were playing with a fucking stand-in as well. That's not one of their players left because he didn't get fucking vaccinated while he was going to Europe. Like, they were playing with a fucking, one of their best players was being studied by a retired player. Yeah. And they still, they 16-4'd Movistar. Like, they had one map that was pretty good. Like, Jonji, actually still looks like a decent player. Like, he still looks like a player who could potentially, transition into a better team. Like, who on EG do you look at and go, oh, yeah, no, he actually performed pretty decently. The highest rate player was fucking S3E13, who's the in-game leader, and I think he had one good map, and the rest of them were all dog shit.
I mean, to be fair, you could have said that about S3E13 in the last 3 years and still been correct.
S3E13 should never be your best player.
Yeah. So, quick side note on Evil Geniuses, as my camera decides to refocus. Valorant news. Okay. Which pertains to Counter-Strike.
All right.
Okay. This is the only reason I'm bringing this up, is that 100 Thieves, which is the Valorant roster that Nitro was previously on, that Hiko is currently on, that Ethan is currently on, that former Bad News Bears player Asuna is currently on, which was a weird thing for me to learn about, is restructuring their roster. And the rumors is that Ethan is going to be out of that roster. So there's a non-zero possibility that Ethan actually comes back to Counter-Strike.
Yeah. I mean,
that's my information.
Ethan was a very good player, but
I don't think Ethan solves this team. It was more.
Automatic was also a pretty good player before he went to Valorant and came back.
And you know what, Automatic. So I judge Automatic on a different scale than everyone else on this team right now, because I'm judging him on the Nitro scale, which is you just came back to this game. It's going to take you a little bit to get back in. We said that Nitro is about 70% of where he is right now. And so we'd assume Automatic's in the same place, right? So if Automatic's at about 70% right now, I don't think he had the worst tournament of Teamkind then. He had under 1.0, but
the fact that you have to rely on people who are 70% ready is fucking that's so bad.
Oh no, agreed. That's a problem, but that's a problem in team building. That's not a problem in Automatic's performance.
Yeah,
on its own. That's more my point. Is you have 4 other players on this team that are not named Automatic, right? Breezy should be going huge. Cirque should be going huge. Rush is one of the best support players North America has ever produced, right? He won a major. Even without the major, he played very well on the original Complexity lineup, especially at the beginning, right? Those players should be going huge for you. And Stewie's calling. So maybe he doesn't go huge for you, but he'll have good impact rounds. And none of that happened. It's just...
I agree. I think it's a team building issue as much as it is a player issue. But I guess I don't really blame... In a sense, I don't really blame Breezy and Cirque for not being good enough, because we've known that for a year now.
Yeah.
They haven't been good enough for a year. At some point you have to go, why are you it's not your fault they've given you a contract. It's not Automatic's fault they've bet on a guy coming back from Val. It's not fucking Rush's fault that he it's not necessary. I mean, it is their fault that they're shit to some extent. But EG, if we could see it from the outside that this team was never going to work, or at least was a ridiculous risk, surely a team with Evil Geniuses as an org, they're no fucking mugs.
Yeah.
They've built good Dota teams. They've built good League of Legends teams. They've built good COD teams, as you mentioned. As an org, they know what they're fucking doing. Generally. So why the fuck did they think this was going to work?
These are questions I am not prepared and authorized to answer.
Yeah, I look. I just don't get it. This team just annoys me more than anything. It's a waste of everyone's time. Like nobody cares. Nobody wants to watch them, but they're still like just taking up screen time, taking up a spot in the Love agreement. Like I hope they get kicked out because hopefully it'll wake them the fuck up and they'll actually, they'll do something similar to what they've done in League, which is sign one of the best fucking junglers in the. They signed one of the best players in the world and brought up some new NA talent instead of recycling the old shit talent. Like, these players aren't good at the moment and haven't been for a little while. It's such a gamble to assume that 4 of them are going to get back to a level that they haven't seen for a while.
Yeah. All right, let's move to the rest of the group because we just talked for 16 minutes about evil geniuses. So I pressed the wrong button.
Good work. We'll cut this out as well.
Na'Vi 5-0 in the group. Everyone expected that. Top of the group. What more do you want me to say about it? They
Simple's so fucking good, dude.
They 2-0 everyone except for Astralis. Like, what do you want me to say?
If you go look at pretty much any positive stat, Simple is in the top 5 at this event.
Yeah,
he has the highest rating, the highest impact, the most AWP kills per round, the highest ADR. He's like 4th on fewest deaths, the most kills per round. He is the most efficient killing machine I've ever seen. He is an absolute freak of fucking nature. And then if you do get past him,
there's the rest of that team.
Like, Bit is in like ridiculous form. Like, it's not gone under the radar because A, everyone knows how fucking good Bit is now, and B, it's really obvious at this event. But fuck me, dude, he's the 3rd highest rated player in the event. Na'Vi have the 2 of the top 3.
That's disgusting.
He's an absolute monster. He is just a multi-kill machine. Like, I would almost be surprised if they drop a map.
Yeah,
at this event.
Yeah, in the rest of this one.
From now on, yeah.
They did drop one to Astralis.
They dropped one to Astralis. I'd be surprised if they drop another one almost. Like, I think they beat FaZe or players, whoever gets through, pretty easily, to be honest, the way FaZe have been playing. I mean, players lost to Movistar. I think Simple's going to do some pretty illegal things to them.
Yeah. So Heroic number 2, they played well. I can't deny that they didn't play well.
Heroic did what Heroic do.
Heroic did what Heroic does, which is play really well in the groups, and now they have to go face Liquid in the playoffs round 1, which means they're going to lose 2-0.
They will smash Liquid.
They should smash Liquid, but they'll lose.
I will say that the one thing Liquid will have over Heroic, and the one reason I think Heroic do struggle when they get deeper in events, is Liquid have the better AWPer, and that means so much in the sort of modern game. Like,
yeah,
OC is a better AWPer than Cadian, and I think that is their sort of ticket into the rounds.
Astralis did the Astralis thing and beat the teams that they should have beaten. They lost to the teams they should have lost to, and they beat the teams they should have beaten, right?
Just about. They just about beat Complexity. It was... Complexity ran them pretty close.
Yeah, but theoretically, if you look at this group, end of the day, you say Astralis should beat EG, they should beat Complexity, they should beat AGO. They did that, right?
Yeah.
They were middle of the group. I have nothing more to say about that. Yeah. AGO, we talked at length last week about their 0-2 loss to Na'Vi.
Yeah.
We might have talked longer than the actual map went on.
I don't know about that.
But they did beat up on the 2 teams below them, and they get the same as the Astralis treatment to me, right?
I think Ago are the biggest. Like, they're the biggest winners of this group, really. Like, everyone else did exactly as you'd expect. Ago finished probably 1-2 places higher than you'd expect. Like, and they looked pretty good even in their losses. They looked good against Na'Vi. Astralis and Heroic less so, but like they looked good against Na'Vi. They beat Complexity. They smashed EG. Like,
yeah. What more do you want?
If you'd offered them that at the start of the event, they'd have gone, that's pretty successful, to be honest.
I'll take that. That's a dub.
Yeah. Like,
Complexity, I have many words to say about Complexity.
They're kind of close to being good without being good.
Yeah. they're on the precipice. They did beat up on Evil Geniuses. They had to go to 3 maps to beat EG. You're the
they had
only
chances against Astralis.
They had definitely chances against Astralis. They were definitely in that AGO game for a little while. They weren't the worst team in this group, even without
No.
Evil Geniuses is here, and right, that's like normally a thing. But if you put them in any other group, they still were not the worst team in the group, right?
Yeah.
And
yeah,
I think there's just
they're a bit disappointing.
So I'm gonna say this, and I might be yelled at for this, but not party assurance, complexity, right? We think of this lineup as just it's the extra salt lineup, but it isn't. They moved Grim in, they moved Junior in, neither of which was playing with the team before, because Junior was playing with Bad News Bears, Grim with Liquid. I'm kind of the opinion of give them time. Like we've already been giving Liquid time, and like because they have to integrate 3 new players, and like I feel like if we give them a little bit more time, this will go. We know that TC is a very good coach. We know JT's a very good IGL.
They not only need time, they need time in Europe.
Yeah.
And I think their biggest issue at the moment is that Junior can't translate his domestic form to international games. I don't know if that's a case of the domestic teams are actually just so much worse, or if it's a case of like he's got the yips. I don't know.
But either way, that's a time issue, right? To a degree, that is definitely a time issue.
I think so.
If he can
I hope so.
If they prac in Europe and they boot camp in Europe, he's able to get some of his form back. This team will be a considerably better team. There's no way around
it. They are very disappointing at the moment, but I think there's more flickers of hope. There's more. Like I say, they took a map off Astralis. EG only took a map off Complexity.
Yeah. All right, and let's talk about our last. Oh, yeah, let's talk about our last bit we talked about before we talk about our playoff predictions. We got an interesting April Fool's joke on Friday that turned out to not be a joke, which was Kjaerbye is back.
I mean, the article was way too long for it to be an April Fool's joke, right?
Yeah,
but he's sort of been angling, like he's sort of been making noises if he's coming back. Like he was on Heroics, like one of their other rosters.
He was like sub. He was a sub
tweeting about it as well. It's like, so you could see he was on his way back. Like it was pretty obvious. And then he announces it. I was like, there's no way this is a joke unless he's been building this up for like a month.
Which fair play.
Yeah, at that point, you deserve to fool me.
But he's back.
He is.
There's a lot of questions about him being back. Which is, if he is going to be a good player, right? If he's going to be the Kjaerbye we saw on Astralis, then what team is going to pay him a large amount of money because they need him? There are teams that can take Kjaerbye and need him immediately, right? If he's going to be the Kjaerbye we saw North, especially towards the latter end, is that the Kjaerbye that everyone wants to pick up immediately? Is that someone who's going to have to fight through a lot of stuff to be able to get something? Is that some? God, I hate I'm going to say this. Is this somebody that we see like starting an academy league and working their way up again?
Well,
which funny when you spend when they're there,
but when you spend that time out of the game, and I mean, Kjaerby's under no illusions. I'm sure he knows the way he ended his sort of first stint in Counter-Strike wasn't the way he ever envisaged it. Wasn't how he would have wanted it. I don't think he's under any illusion. I think he's going to know, look, teams aren't going to trust me immediately. I probably need to prove myself, prove to myself and to other teams that I've still got it. Because he was one of the most gifted players in a region full of gifted players.
Yeah.
He was extremely talented. He still is extremely talented. But whether that's been a case of application, whether it's been bad team environments, whatever it is, he hasn't shown like the extent of what he can do for a little while now, and he's been out of the game. I think I hope he can sort of put his ego aside and go to a weaker team, a smaller team, and like actually prove, yeah, I'm fucking back. Because I'm a big Kjaerbye fan. I'd love to see him back, but we've just been talking for 16 minutes, as you mentioned, about Automatic, Nitro, these players who've come back not been in good form, and then they've just gambled immediately that they're going to be back there. And it so often it doesn't pay off, and then you're still going to then have to drop down to find that form anyway.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't think he should immediately jump in to a big team, put all that pressure back on himself, and like if I'm a team and you know how talented Kjaerbye is, but you know how it's ended and the last few months of his career, like you would want some reassurances that he is the player that we thought he was a couple of years ago before you sign him. So I'd like to see him go to a smaller team, even play for one of the sort of mixed teams for a bit. They're always dodgy because they can really hurt your reputation if things don't go well. But like, I just want to see him like grind his way back up because I want to believe Kjaerbye's fucking good again.
Yeah,
but you have to prove it.
Okay, so I'm gonna go against your point for a moment.
Okay.
Can I interest you in the Copenhagen Flames?
To buy them or?
I don't know if they're looking to make a move. Personally, in the end of the day, I'm not sure I'm thinking they should make a move. But if you're going to make a move, this might be one of the things you do.
I don't think they ever would, and I don't think they should either.
Okay. My other thought was Mouse Sports, but then I remembered they did the JDC for NBK move already. And my third thought, which is really stupid because it's never going to happen, but fuck it, I'm putting it out there anyway, is Fnatic.
Astralis?
Oh.
Fnatic.
Who currently have like 3 kind of sort of substitutes on the roster.
I'd love that to work. That seems such a doomed roster. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Like, it seems. It seems like you're taking too many gambles. You're gambling on poison.
What are they doing right now? They're taking a million gambles as it is.
Well, yeah, but I think they just got a big influx of money. They can like take somebody who's a bit more certain. I think right now. I would love Kjaerbye to go to Fnatic. I'm just not sure it makes sense, and I don't want him to go straight back in to like a really fucking difficult in the spotlight has to perform. Like, I want to see him grind his way up and get back to the level, because it's weird because he's never had to. Mm-hmm. He was 18 years old when he won the major MVP. He's never actually had to prove himself.
Yeah.
So now it's almost like it's, to me, I would find that like a fun challenge. Like, I've already been at the top. Now I've got to actually get back there. I would see that as a fun challenge personally, but we'll see.
So you saying things reminded me of things. Astralis talent.
Astralis talent. Look,
this puts him in an academy team, in an organization he actually knows, with a coach he knows.
He's played with Fessel before as well.
He's played with Fessel before, and Ave is the coach, which is the former North coach, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
For at least a bit. That could be a move, and it's a totally Danish-speaking team, which means you don't have to work on international
coming in English
to start.
Yeah, I don't know if that would be too much of a step down for him. I personally think it would be a good idea to just build some confidence, and it might be a little bit unfair if he was in the Academy League and he was playing to the level that we know he can.
Yeah, but to be fair, they also put Flamey down into the Academy League.
Yeah, that's true.
So, like, sure, if he plays in the Academy, and Mondesi was in the Academy League, like, you don't know what he's playing. He hasn't played for 3 years. So
yeah, I mean, that is true. I don't know. I'd like to see him drop down and really grind his way back up, but we haven't seen him for quite a while now. He might just be really good still. Like, we don't know. He might already be good.
Yeah, and you know what? Teams will try him out, and people will know because they're playing pugs with him and playing faces. And so the teams will know. So
yeah,
us speculating does nothing, but it's fun to speculate. And our last bit for today. for a variety of reasons. One, because my laptop is dying. Playoff predictions for ESL. I'm going to quickly go through the board. Heroic play Liquid. We talked about this a little earlier. We both think this is Heroic win. Only like our big point of contention is op difference. OC's definitely the better opper than Cadian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Heroic will win. I think they'll win 2-0, but I don't think there'll be 2 close maps.
Okay. Fnatic Ents. This should be Ents. Like every day of the week.
Yeah, Ents looks very solid. I think this could be an Ents 2-0.
I think this probably will be an Ents 2-0, in fact.
Yeah, they looked really solid.
Entropic Astralis, this is going to be close. I'm thinking 2-1 Astralis, but like I could be.
I'm thinking 2-1 Entropic.
Yeah,
I don't trust Astralis at all. Entropic look pretty good in groups.
Okay. FaZe players. This should be a FaZe match, I think.
You reckon?
I think
I'm taking players.
Are you taking 2-0 or are you taking 2-1?
2-1.
Depends honestly, it depends what FaZe we see.
Yeah, well, it's the one with Rain, so it's going to be players who win.
Yeah, you know what? Shit, you're right. JKS isn't subbing anymore. So quarterfinals will be NIP versus, we said Heroic. Sounds like NIP to me, but I could be wrong.
That one is completely up in the air. I'd say probably NIP, just because I don't trust Heroic in later playoff stages. Yep. But Heroic are the better team.
Yeah. Movistar Ents. I think Ents wins that.
Sadly, I think Ents win, yeah. I'd love Movistar to win.
I know, but I'm not confident in Movistar is my problem.
No, I think Ents seem like a better version of Movistar. That's kind of hard to quantify, but like that a similar sort of story, but it seems like Ents are a little bit further along in the story.
Okay. So Entropic or Astralis against Furia.
Furia and Entropic would low key be an absolute banger.
But here's the thing. I think regardless of what team wins in the first round, I think it's probably still Furia winning.
It's probably Furia, but I think that could be a really cool game to watch.
That could be really good.
I mean, watching Furia is always an absolute blessing. I love Furia.
And then Navi versus Phaser players.
Navi just smash everyone.
It's a Navi
Navi, unfortunately, are going to just win the event.
Yeah.
And it's going to be like Navi versus probably Heroic in the final or something, and it's be like, ugh.
We've seen this 20 times. Yeah.
I really wanted a Navi Furia final. That's what I wanted.
Well, okay, that might happen in the semis, but what might happen in the semis is Navi Ents. That is a real thing that could happen.
That could happen, yeah. Like it's not that far fetched that Ents beat Fnatic, Movistar, and then NIP or Heroic or Liquid.
Yeah. End of the day, though, we're fairly confident that Navi wins this tournament. I'm
pretty sure
across the entire thing.
I weirdly, I think the only team who can hurt them is Furia. Like I don't know why. I just got this feeling about Furia.
Furia plays stupid.
Furia is so insane. Like Navi will just beat anyone, but like you literally can't predict Furia. Like Simple is the best at predicting what the enemy's going to do, but Furia don't know what Furia are going to do, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, they're stupid insane, and we guess them wins. You had any other bits for today other than Navi winning out?
I don't think I have anything else. Almost certainly something will come up as soon as we finish recording. So
yes. But until something does come up, thank you for listening. This has been Overtime Inferno. You follow us on Twitter at ReedTLDR, at Logan Ramhap, and at Aizyesque. Next week, we will have a winner for Pro League. I think that's how the bracket works. If it doesn't, then you'll still see us next week. Or you'll see us in like 30 seconds because we had to add an addendum. Either way, goodbye.
Goodbye.